In the Greater West Central region, we do course checks of every online section within our regions. In this video, we're going to talk about why we do the online course checks and specifically what we're looking for when we do a course check. Our course checks were designed to ensure that our courses are following the requirements set forth in the Academic Support and Operations Manual, or the ASOM policies. These policies can be found at ivytech.edu/policies. We also wanted to make sure that our courses are adhering to standard best practices for online education. The ultimate goal is to make sure we're doing everything we can to help our students succeed. There are 4 ASOM policies that pertain to the setup of online courses. Those are ASOM 4.5, which is Distance Education Course Scheduling. That contains information about the common statewide online calendar. ASOM 4.6 is Course Delivery Considerations for Courses at a Distance, and that policy talks about the no-show withdrawal time frame, which is also known as non-attendance or NW date. ASOM 4.8 is Attendance Expectations and Reporting. That policy also discusses the no-show withdrawal dates and the 100% student refund date, which we'll talk about in more detail later. And the last policy we're going to look at is ASOM 7.5.2, which is Faculty Expectations for Training for and Instruction of Online and Distance Courses. This policy specifies certain things that need to be present in each course, such as instructor information, course syllabus, general guidelines for grading, as well as requirements for IvyLearn profiles. The Greater West Central region uses the IDC Getting Started website to convey the information needed to get your course set up for the semester. The link to this website, which is provided in the video description as well, is link.ivytech.edu/getstart, all one word. The first link that you'll see is the link to Ivy Tech Basics. This contains instructions on how to set up your account in MyIvy, how to access IvyLearn, how to find your course details, including your course CRN. Below the Ivy Tech Basics link, you'll see a section titled Need to Set Up Your Courses. If you're teaching a face-to-face course, you can click on the first link. For this video, we're going to discuss online courses, so we're going to click on the second link titled I'm Teaching an Online or Hybrid Course. The first link on that page is a printable checklist. This checklist provides a short list of the different things an instructor needs to do to prepare their course. However, it does not contain specific dates or information. That must be obtained from the website. Below the link for the checklist begins the detailed course setup checklist. The first section is in regards to the IvyLearn profile. Per ASOM 7.5.2, all faculty are required to fill out their profile in IvyLearn and include at least 2 methods of contact, one being an Ivy Tech email address, along with a photo and a personalized biography. A link is provided to a user guide on editing your profile. Below this information is a screenshot of an example profile. In the next section, you'll see information regarding setting up your syllabus. This section begins with a summary of the different items in the syllabus that all instructors need to fill out, followed by more specific information on each section. Instructors are required to include at least 2 methods of contact, both for themselves and for their supervisor. This can be email address, work and/or cell phone number, IvyLearn conversations, Google Hangouts, etc. Email addresses should be Ivy Tech email addresses, and phone numbers should be direct lines. For example, the main switchboard line for the campus doesn't count as a method of contact because it can't be used to reach you directly, particularly if you don't have an office on campus. Below that section is another screenshot, and that shows an example of what your contact information might look like. Next is the online learning support contact information. If you teach in the Lafayette or Kokomo regions, this is an easy one. Just copy and paste this information into your syllabus. If you're teaching a regional online course, it's even easier. That information will already be present and you don't need to make any changes to this section at all. The syllabus template also contains a link to the website where students can find Disability Support Services contact information, and you're not required to include any additional information on your syllabus. However, if you would like to include that information, you are welcome to do so. Just select the information for the originating site for your course and paste that into your syllabus. The next section is attendance drop deadline, which is also referred to as no-show or NW. The important thing to remember about no-show withdraw is that this is the same date as the student 100% refund date. If a student is not properly dropped for non-attendance in a timely fashion, they may not receive a full refund of their tuition payments, and financial aid monies may be dispersed inappropriately. This costs the college and our students hundreds of thousands of dollars every year, so it's critical that we post the proper dates and report non-attendance in a timely fashion. Please note that the NW deadline that is listed on the college calendar is the faculty deadline for reporting. That date does not apply to students, and it should not appear in your syllabus. The last date of withdrawal appears in this section as well. It's important to make sure that you include the day of the week with your last date of withdrawal. This date often falls on a Saturday, and if a student needs the approval of a faculty member or their advisor in order to drop a course, they may need to take action sooner than this deadline date. The new syllabus template contains a section for additional communication options. Fill out this section to include any communication methods you would like to use that you didn't include in your instructor contact information section at the top. The next section of the checklist is the course summary section. The course summary in IvyLearn is automatically populated with all graded assessments located within the course. By default, the assessments are ordered by name, but when due dates are added to each item, the list is automatically reorganized to display the items in order of due date, as shown in our screenshot here below. Due dates must be set for all assignments and assessments. For more information regarding the use of IvyLearn Calendar tool, click on the link provided to access the Canvas user documents. The beginning and end dates for the semester are listed in the college calendar section, along with non-instructional dates. Faculty are not permitted to have course due dates fall on a non-instructional day. This affects courses whose ordinary weekly due dates may fall on a college holiday, such as Independence Day, fall break, and so on. This section also specifies the week during which your course should begin and end, so you can double check to make sure that you haven't inadvertently ended your course early or after the end of the semester. The next section is a reminder that after you have your course set up, you need to publish it. Courses that are published are still not available to students until 2 days before the start date listed in banner. Unpublished courses are never visible to students. So in order for our students to get access to that course, we have to make sure that we publish it. If your course uses third-party content such as Pearson, McGraw-Hill, or Cengage, click on the link provided here to access videos and documentation to help you set up your course with that content. The last two items listed on the checklist don't contain specific information, but serve as a reminder that we will also be checking the Grade Center and that the new Conversations tool in IvyLearn is available, and ASOM 7.5.2 encourages faculty to use that tool for communications between students and instructors wherever possible. Let's take a look at a sample course in IvyLearn. When we do a course check, we check each one of the items that's listed on the Getting Started page. The first thing we're going to do is click on the People link, and we're going to check out your profile to make sure that it's been set up properly. In addition to having your contact information in your profile, please include a brief professional and personal biography. What you decide to share may vary, but studies have shown that instructors who bring themselves to the table, so to speak, create a comfortable environment for the students to open up. When students are welcome to contact you using a method of communication they feel comfortable with, when students are able to put a face to your name and get to know you as a person, they feel more connected to the course. Students who are able to form that connection are more likely to be engaged in the materials, they're more likely to reach out for help when they need it, and ultimately they're more likely to be successful. The instructor information, syllabus, and course summary are all found in the syllabus area. So let's click on that button and begin the rest of our course check. The first item in this area is the instructor's contact information. There's a placeholder for instructors to post a picture. We recommend selecting a picture that shows your personality. This not only helps the students put a face to your name, but it also helps them get to know you as an individual. It's not a beauty contest, so don't be shy. I certainly did not choose this picture because I look good in it. I chose it because it tells a story about who I am. I also recommend sharing pictures of pets or other things that are important to you. My dog has served as a course mascot for many semesters, and when I have a student who's a runner or a dog lover, these pictures create a connection between us, and that's always a great way to start out a semester. Instructor information should contain at least 2 methods of contact, and per ASOM Policy 7.5.2, your Ivy Tech email address must be included. The main reason we require at least 2 methods of contact is so the students have an alternative in case one method of contact becomes unavailable. So let's say, for example, that you prefer IvyLearn Conversations as primary method of contact. If a student isn't able to access IvyLearn, and the only way that the students can contact you is via conversations, then they'll be unable to reach you. So we need to have at least one alternative method of contact provided here, and the more the merrier. Phone contact is not required, but it is strongly recommended. For those of you who are not comfortable with sharing a phone number, and I don't like to share my personal number, I use Google Voice to create a new phone number, which then rings through to your existing phone. There's several benefits to this, one being that the number can be deleted after the semester ends, so you can use a new Google Voice phone number for each semester. Google Voice also transcribes voicemail messages and sends them to you via email. And I've found that when I post a Google Voice number and ask my students not to contact me after 9 p.m., they have all so far been respectful of that. But if you have a student who does not respect that and it becomes an issue, then you can just delete that Google Voice number and then they won't be able to call you anymore. The supervisor contact information below follows the same protocols as the instructor contact information. At least 2 methods of contact should be provided here. The online learning support information below should match the information that appears on the Getting Started website. No other names should be included there and no other contact information should be used. The next thing we look at is the attendance policy section. The attendance drop deadline, again this is also called no-show, non-attendance, or NW date, should match what is on the checklist. If the date you have posted here does not match the checklist, it will be flagged and we'll contact you with a request to change the date. Again, non-compliance on this costs the college and our students hundreds of thousands of dollars per year, so we can't stress enough how critical that is. A little bit further down is the last day to withdraw. This should also match what appears on the course setup checklist in the Getting Started website. And both of these dates will be different depending on whether your course is a 16-week, a 12-week, or an 8-week. The last section that we look at is course communications. The additional communication options section should be filled out with any types of communication you offer your students apart from what's included with your contact information at the top. What you include here should be tailored to you and your students' communication preferences. When you're filling out this section, it's important to remember that when your student is able to contact you using the communication method they're most comfortable with, they're more likely to communicate with you. And a student who communicates more is more engaged and they're more likely to succeed. The next thing we look at is the course summary at the bottom. The course summary automatically populates with all of the assignments and assessments that are present in the course. When due dates are added, these items automatically separate and organize themselves based upon their due dates. When looking at the course summary, we check to make sure all required assignments have a due date, and we also check to make sure that no due dates fall on non-instructional days. In this particular course, I used Monday due dates. In the fall, that would mean for Labor Day, I would need to make the assignments due on Tuesday instead of Monday, because Monday of Labor Day is a non-instructional day. Having Monday due dates also affects fall break. Because fall break is Tuesday through Sunday, a course with Monday due dates could technically have an assignment due on the Monday of that week. However, because the semester is 17 weeks long and the courses are only 16 modules, we would have to skip that Monday of fall break in order to prevent our course from ending 1 week early. In the spring, because spring break begins on Sunday and ends on Saturday, if you use Sunday due dates, you would not have assignments due on that first day of spring break because that Sunday is a non-instructional day, and then you would have assignments due the first day following spring break because that Sunday is not a non-instructional day. These two scenarios are where we see the most issues with course summaries. When it comes to your course summary, we tell instructors to remember two specific things. The first one is that assignments cannot be due on non-instructional days. So whatever's listed as a non-instructional day on the college calendar cannot be listed as a due date on your course summary. And the second one is that all courses should have a number of due dates corresponding to the length of the course, and they should all run the length of the semester. So for example, a 16-week course should have 16 unique due dates. The course should begin the week the semester begins, and it should end the week the semester ends. We generally perform course checks within the first week to 10 days of the term. Later in the semester, we go back into the courses to make sure that grades are being entered. ASOM 7.5.1 states that assignments should be graded within 7 days of the due date unless otherwise communicated to the students. Timely feedback on assignments is critical to student growth and success. Not receiving timely or adequate feedback can result in ambiguity, confusion, frustration, and disengagement on the part of the student, which can ultimately result in a failure to meet course objectives. We understand that sometimes students may be submitting papers or projects that require additional time for grading, or a student may be submitting work late. So when we look at the Grade Center course, we are not looking for every single assignment to be graded. We're just checking to make sure that grades are being entered and that a reasonable number of submitted assignments are graded, and that announcements have been posted regarding any assignments that are beyond that 7 days past the due date that haven't been graded yet. The vast majority of our online courses meet these expectations. An example of a case where we would mark a course as not being compliant in this area would be if no assignments had been graded in 4 or more weeks and no announcements or explanation had been provided to the student. And that concludes this video regarding online course checks in the Greater West Central region. We hope that this video has helped to explain why the course checks are performed and why the things that we check for are so important to you, to the college, and ultimately to our students. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact our office. Our email address is gwc-online@ivytech.edu, or you can call us at 765-269-5154.